What is the ideal video length?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting question. And like, I don't mean this as a cop out at all, but the ideal length is as short as possible, but no shorter, as long as you need for the story, but no longer. Because we're finding, especially now, people have so many options, not even on YouTube, not even on multi format, but there's all these streaming services and people can go outside again. I mean, there's so much competition for attention. I think people can increasingly tell if you are just doing filler or like making a video longer than it needs to be, and the tolerance levels for that are lower, and you can see that in your skip, like little, like if people are starting to skip through your videos or jumping through chapters, which I know is a little bit controversial, but sometimes chapters can show you where people would have just abandoned your video before, but because they see something interesting in a later chapter, they're willing to skip to that chapter. But that's an indicator that maybe the video is too long or not interesting enough to get them to watch through. So I think the ideal length is what you have to explain in as concise and interesting way, as dramatic a way as possible, and then don't pad it out any more than you have to, because people are getting more and more sensitive to that.
On your personal channel where you're talking about technology, do you have a target or is it just random based on trying to make the video as concise? But if the story takes a while, then you'll go longer. Is there any video length you personally target?
I've been testing things. Like recently, I went through a phase of like my Hayden Hillier Smith phase, where I just like over edited like everything, and a little bit of like the Mario Juice, Jimmy retention editor phase, where I was like cutting everything so it'd be maximum attention. And then because I had left less time now that I'm working at YouTube, I went through a phase where it was like Charlie Penguin Z, Ludwig Mobile Mail, no editing. Like I'm just going to talk. I'm going to just like extemporaneously. And that's the beautiful thing about YouTube, is that we do have like these incredibly tightly edited, like Jimmy or Eric videos where there's not a second that hasn't been considered, and they get millions and millions of views. And then you have Charlie and Ludwig uploading like 3 times a day and the video gets a million views. I personally like to experiment. I think shorter is better. That's where I'm leading, but I would encourage anybody to figure out like what their style is, what their audience vibes with, and aim for that.
Two things. Number one, I've had too much coffee today. Number two, if you have not seen our free masterclass yet, you're gonna love it. If you're serious about growing your YouTube channel, just go to thinkmasterclass.com for a 1-hour deep dive on-demand YouTube strategy class. It's sick, and I'm gonna go refill my coffee. Hope to see you on the class.